Final part. My sister sprayed perfume in my son's eyes because he looked at her too long. While he screamed in pain, my mother laughed and said, "At least he smells better now." That night, I made a promise, and 2 years later, they all learned what silence can build. I never contacted my parents, but they noticed me. Mara did first. She sent a message on a fake account. "Saw your little speech at that school thing. Cute. Guess being a victim is trendy now." I didn't respond. 2 weeks later, my father showed up at the diner. Yes, the same one. He sat at the booth in the corner and ordered coffee like nothing had ever happened. "You still working here? Thought you'd be crawling back by now." I walked over, refilled his cup, and said nothing. "Your mother's birthday is coming up. You coming or not?" I looked him dead in the eye. "No," he laughed, still holding a grudge over that little cologne thing. "It was perfume." "What's the difference?" "Ask your grandson," I said. He blinked. For a moment I saw it, the flicker of shame, but he masked it with contempt. "You think you're better than us now?" "No," I said. "I know I am." I turned and walked away. That was the last time I saw him in public. But behind the scenes, my sister's social media started cracking. Screenshots of her old posts, comments mocking Jessie, videos making fun of disabled kids, even a few horrifying voice notes began circulating in parent groups, not from me. Not publicly, but quietly, carefully, shared by people I trusted. She lost a sponsorship deal. Then another. And then her boyfriend dumped her when someone emailed him a certain video titled, "She Deserved It." Her voice, describing what she did to Jessie. She posted a tearful video. People are so sensitive nowadays. Like, grow up. But her comments were flooded. "Your nephew isn't sensitive, you're a monster." Imagine doing that to a child, then laughing. The internet didn't forget. My parents didn't react at first, until the inheritance drama began. My grandmother, Dad's mom, had passed 6 months earlier. We hadn't spoken in years, but she'd found me before she died. Quietly, she told me, "You remind me of myself when I was young. Strong, unwanted, unbreakable." She rewrote her will, left everything to Jessie. "Not me, Jessie." And the moment that will was read out loud, my mother choked on her drink and screamed, "What? To that little mute brat?" The lawyer looked up and calmly said, "That little mute brat now owns the house you live in." I didn't even have to attend the meeting, but they called me. Over and over, I let it ring, until one day I answered, "Please." My mom's voice was trembling. "We're being kicked out. You can't let them do this. Jessie doesn't even understand what a will is." "He understands cruelty," I said. "He lived with you." "We didn't mean it." "You laughed." "Please." I looked over at Jessie. He was coloring on the balcony. Happy, whole. Then I hung up. I wasn't done yet. I didn't sleep the night before the hearing. Yes, there was a hearing. Not because I pressed charges, I hadn't, but because my sister had filed a petition for custody of Jessie's inheritance. She claimed I was emotionally unstable, vindictive, and manipulating the will of a senile old woman through guilt. She had the audacity to file a document claiming I was using my own son for financial gain. They thought silence meant I was scared. They didn't understand. I was waiting. So I walked into that courtroom not alone, but with Jessie's therapist, a social worker, 2 teachers, and a volunteer coordinator, who testified about how many hours I'd worked at the trauma center. They didn't speak with rehearsed legal ease. They spoke with emotion. "Jessie came to us afraid of eye contact," his therapist said. "He now speaks to other children. That is not by accident. His mother never asked for praise," the teacher said. "She asked what else she could do. Every hour she wasn't working," the coordinator said, "she was helping someone else's child." My sister sat there, arms crossed, whispering furiously to my mother. My dad didn't show. When it was her turn to speak, she stood up, smiled at the judge, and said, "I just don't think that someone who holds a grudge this long should be in charge of that much money. I mean, it's about Jessie, isn't it?" The judge blinked. "Miss Donnelly," she said, "do you understand that this hearing is not about your personal feelings, but about the well-being of a child?" Mara's smirk faltered. She glanced at her lawyer, then at me. I didn't even look back. It wasn't about her anymore. When the gavel came down, the decision was final. The inheritance remained with Jessie. The estate was placed in a trust until he turned 18, with me as sole administrator. Mara and my parents were issued a restraining order citing past abuse, online harassment, and a clear pattern of emotional endangerment. The moment court adjourned, I walked past them. My mom lunged forward. "You evil little witch. How dare you do this to your own blood?" I didn't stop, but I did pause just long enough to turn my head and say, "You all made Jessie bleed. I'm just making sure no one does again." She froze, and that was the last time I saw her. In the years that followed, Jessie thrived. We moved into a small but sunny place outside town. He took piano lessons. He made friends. He started standing up straight. He even wrote a story once. A superhero tale. The villain, a woman who sprayed fire at children's eyes because they made her feel ugly. I asked him what happened to the villain at the end. "She wasn't defeated," he said. "Then what happened? She was forgotten. And that was it. The best revenge wasn't money. It wasn't exposure. I was living in a world where they no longer mattered. Where Jessie got to be a child. Where laughter didn't mean pain. Where his mom didn't flinch every time a car door slammed. Where silence wasn't fear, but peace." We never went back to the old house. We never tried to rebuild what never existed. Instead, we built something new. And in that quiet, beautiful life, they became exactly what they deserved to be, nothing. Please subscribe to our channel, and tell us in comments from where are you watching this video.